Now that WWE is coming to Netflix, I feel like they are trying really hard not to show us some naughty things. Also, this cough was perfect in time. And they are trying to delete some of their history and not talk about some controversial things, because that can get us in drama that Netflix does not want. So let's go and check out this video by Tap Out Corner called Videos WWE Does Not Want You to Watch. And let's see how many of those I actually know.
I don't even need to explain why WWE doesn't want you to watch this clip.
What's good in the hood?
Just hold it down, try to take care of business.
Keep it up.
This is just one of
Definitely
the many clips
not.
in this video that WWE does not want you to see. In fact, this video might get blocked, so stick around till the end so you don't miss anything.
Are we getting a
After WWE
strike?
finished filming an episode of SmackDown in 2014, Michael Cole was chatting with his boss, Vince McMahon, through their headsets. The WWE Network had just launched, so the company really wanted to promote it. Unfortunately, Cole, being a commentator, was the one who had to constantly plug the network, much to the fans' annoyance. In some leaked audio, you can hear Michael Cole getting upset and talking back to Vince McMahon.
You want me to say that every time? Because I said this load of times tonight. Okay. Yes, sir. So you want...
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yep. Okay, I've got it, sir. I just didn't know if you want me to hit it every time, but I'll do that from now on. Okay, you got it. Thank you.
Knowing the stories of how angry Vince McMahon can get, I would love to know what McMahon said to Michael Cole. Now, this is really ironic when you think about it.
He said, "You're fired." Nah, he didn't say that.
After Lita cheated on
That
her
was terrible.
boyfriend, Matt Hardy, with Edge in real life, it of course became a WWE storyline. Lita and Edge were an on-screen couple, and after Edge won the WWE Championship, the two decided to get rated R. The night after Edge's victory, he and Lita had a live celebration.
Dude,
in
I
the
can't
ring.
believe this
Being a
actually
bed in
happened.
a wrestling ring was pretty weird, but this is what WWE wanted to show people. What WWE did not want to show is what happened to Lita. As the two were doing the deed, the camera accidentally caught Lita's exposed chest. The camera cut away, and WWE was quick to remove this footage. It's kind of ironic that WWE wanted a live celebration, but didn't want anyone getting naked. 2 days after 9/11,
Dude,
WWE
I can't
hosted
believe
a
that.
live edition of SmackDown with a very patriotic theme. Wrestlers and other WWE personnel shared their thoughts and words of hope during the show, and it was overall a very feel-good moment.
Yeah.
WWE does not shy away from the fact that they did this show, but there is one clip that they've gone out of their way to get rid of. What's so controversial about it? Just watch.
A few years ago, some people tried to destroy my family. They attacked my father's reputation. They attacked my mother's reputation. And they attacked the World Wrestling Federation. They tried to rip us apart, but all they did was make my family stronger. And that's exactly how America feels right now.
What Stephanie McMahon was referring
Why
to
is
was
that
the steroid
bad?
trial of the mid-90s. In
Yeah.
1994, Vince McMahon was charged with distributing
I know
illegal
this from the
steroids to his
Mr. McMahon
wrestlers.
documentary.
While McMahon was not found guilty, it doesn't seem like Vince McMahon was totally innocent either. This made it all the more insensitive when Stephanie McMahon was comparing a court case against her father to nearly 3,000 innocent people being killed. That's why it's not
yeah.
surprising that WWE has erased this moment from its history.
Oops.
Originally, Dean Ambrose was not supposed to be part of the Shield. Instead, WWE planned on having Ambrose make his main roster debut by himself and feud with Mick Foley. They actually began a storyline
God,
too,
what would have
but it
happened
didn't
to his
start on
career?
TV. During the weekend of WrestleMania 28 in 2012, Mick Foley was at a hotel meeting with fans. Dean Ambrose, who was wrestling for WWE's development company FCW at this time, approached Foley and said Mick had to be held accountable.
I do.
Hey, John.
Hey.
Dean Ambrose, FCW.
Nice to meet you.
Remember?
This was, I
You
killed it.
ruined a generation. And you're responsible for a lot of this wrong. You need to be held accountable. All the 14-year-old kids ruin their lives, ruin their dreams.
Name one
Falling off
14-year-old kid.
I got
You
smart
got
real
some
quick
proof?
and I made it, but
You
a
got
lot
a
of my
video?
friends didn't. A lot of my friends didn't.
Your friends are what? Are they dead?
And you got off
Because of
scot-free.
me?
You need to be held accountable. I don't care what you have to say. You're a criminal. You're a criminal, Nick.
What?
Bro, what? Blaming a person in entertainment business doing stunts that, keep in mind, people have been doing in movies. There are stuntmen and women all over the world who have been doing that as a career since Hollywood exists. And kids watching these movies and getting inspired by them, doing whatever they want to do and never being accountable, like the actors never being accountable for that. And now you want to put a wrestler as accountable and holding him a criminal as well? That is so mean.
Accountable? What does accountable mean?
You tell me what accountable means in your book.
Security eventually kicked Ambrose out of the building, but this looked like a real altercation between Dean and Foley. Of course,
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
it
thing
looks
was planned,
real.
and a rivalry was supposed
No
to be set
way!
up that would see Ambrose make his main roster debut.
I fell for it. I fell for it.
Due to Foley's health, though, the hardcore icon wasn't allowed to wrestle, so the rivalry got scrapped, and this confrontation was erased from the internet. In 2000, WWE fans witnessed a love triangle between Triple H, Kurt Angle, and Stephanie McMahon. Both Angle and Stephanie claimed they were just friends. However,
Sorry.
Triple H would use this to question not only Kurt's manliness, but also his sexuality. On an episode of Raw, Triple H showed footage of Kurt Angle's Olympic gold medal match and mocked him. However,
That's
that's
actually
not the reason
funny.
WWE doesn't want you to see this video. As mentioned, Triple H also questioned Kurt Angle's sexuality, which led to some offensive jokes.
You see, here is Kurt Angle, the 1996 Olympics, Atlanta. That's an interesting position. What the heck?
It's unsurprising that WWE has since removed these jokes from the episode. Stuff like this was commonplace during the Attitude Era, but once WWE went PG, it was very rare to see this type of adult content in WWE.
Interesting that if it was a woman and a man and he would calling it sexually naughty, whatever, it would not be erased whatsoever. We have so many of these. Look at Stephanie, like she's getting the word. We have so many clips like that. But the fact that it is a man on a man or a woman on a woman, we have to delete that so we don't accidentally make the woke mad. Why can't we make jokes without anybody getting offended? Jesus.
That's what made it all the more surprising to see what happened at the 2016 Royal Rumble. At the show, Charlotte Flair defended the Divas Championship against Becky Lynch. Charlotte had her father, Ric Flair, in her corner, and, as expected, he interfered in the match. What shocked fans, though, was seeing Ric Flair kiss Becky Lynch in order to distract her. WWE personnel backstage were also surprised, as the kiss wasn't scripted. In fact, Vince McMahon was furious that this happened, presumably because a man forcing himself onto a woman would hurt WWE's image. Since then, WWE has erased the kiss from history. So far, these have all just been individual clips. However, there's an entire WWE show you are no longer allowed to watch. Monday, June 25th, 2007 started just like any other day for the WWE. The company was set to air a live episode of their weekly show Raw. However, hours before the show started, one of the wrestlers was not at the arena. That wrestler was Chris Benoit. It was soon discovered that Benoit, as well as his wife and son, were found dead in their Atlanta home. With the shocking news, the original plans for Raw were scrapped, and the show ended up becoming a tribute to Chris Benoit.
I hope as you watch this, you appreciate that everything that Chris Benoit has done.
Wrestlers and other WWE personnel shared memories of Chris Benoit as a wrestler and friend.
Chris thought it was so cool that I married Triple H.
See, this is the thing when they like just went with it and did it immediately before fact checking what happened. Once they realized what happened, they erased this because they didn't want to honor and promote someone who is a murderer.
He was one of the only people that just was so genuinely happy for us. He said he thought it was so cool.
However, there's a very good reason you can't watch the show. As WWE was broadcasting the Benoit
But how do
tribute
you have
show,
the footages
authorities
of that
found
show?
out who killed the Benoit family. As they learned, Chris had murdered his wife and son, then took his own life. Just one day after praising and
terrible.
celebrating
I
Chris
cried so
Benoit,
much when I watched the
WWE
documentary.
did a complete 180.
Last night on Monday Night Raw, the WWE presented a special tribute show, recognizing the career of Chris Benoit. However, now some 26 hours later, the facts of this horrific tragedy are now apparent. Therefore, other than my comments, there will be no mention of Mr. Benoit's name tonight.
It's no shock that WWE has banned the Chris Benoit tribute show, and Benoit's name, in general, has been a taboo subject in wrestling. A lot of times,
I did react to the documentary, The Dark Side of the Ring, about the whole situation and incident. And honestly, before reacting to the documentary, I was kind of like 50-50 on this situation. I was like, shouldn't we like praise his career and divide it or disconnect it from what he did personally? But after watching that documentary, my whole view changed about it, and I talked more about it on Patreon. If you're interested in checking it out, you can go. Yeah, you in this situation, you definitely cannot disconnect these two because they are connected.
If there's something WWE doesn't want you to see, they'll do it during a commercial break. However, thanks to smartphones, this doesn't work so well anymore.
Yep.
During commercial breaks, WWE's production crew will often do things like change the ring mat if it gets dirty, get props and decorations set up for an upcoming segment on the show, and other things like that. However, there was one commercial break incident that basically ruined wrestling. The March 13th, 2020 episode of SmackDown was at the beginning of the pandemic era. WWE hosted the show from inside their performance center with no fans in attendance. One of the matches on the show was a women's tag team match. Other than the lack of a crowd, the match started off normally. After a bit, the show went to a commercial break. However, there was a technical glitch for some viewers, and the cameras went back to the show too early. Because they thought nobody was watching, the wrestlers broke character and stopped wrestling each other. It was something you never thought you would see, but there it was. Eventually, once the commercial break officially ended, the women got back into character and returned to wrestling. During the 2019 WWE...
come on, guys. Of course they're not gonna be wrestling when nobody's watching. Are they gonna be wrestling backstage? Are they gonna be wrestling on the street? They're doing it to entertain us when we are watching them. They're professional at it. When they are not doing that, they're friends. They might even be best friends. Like, come on, like, get that in your head, you guys. You have to separate those two.
Hall of Fame, Bret back into character and returned to wrestling. During the 2019 WWE Hall of Fame, Bret Hart and the late Jim Neidhart were being inducted for their tag team accomplishments. However, while Bret was giving his speech, this happened.
Oh my god, he got attacked! What the fuck? How did they allow this? Actually, I always thought that the bodyguards are shitty, and now I'm sure they are. I was always thinking, hello, do something when Bronson Reed is attacking everyone and they are not doing shit. Well, guess what? They are really bad. They are so bad.
Security and dove at Bret Hart. Security and fellow wrestlers quickly came to the Hitman's aid, and thankfully Bret wasn't seriously hurt. After the attacker was escorted out of the building, Hart continued his speech. This incident, of course, has since been removed from the Hall of Fame. However, the man who attacked Bret Hart is still alive, and he was arrested again not long after assaulting Bret. To hear the whole story, watch the video.
What an idiot! Oh my god. How many incidents before you actually lock him forever? Okay, not forever, but for a longer time so he doesn't do it again. And people can be safe from him. Sheesh. Alright, let's check out the comments. The look on Booker T when Vince said the N-word explains everything. 6 hours later, still not blocked. Great video. That Dean and Mick video was so realistic. Oh my god, I completely fell for it. You know what? I have a feeling it was real and then they used it for work. That's how I feel like it happened. And then they realized, okay, never mind, it doesn't work because he's too old. He's not going to be wrestling, so we're just going to scrap it. Yep. But then why would he become a wrestler? Like, I don't know. Ric Flair had the moment of his life with that kiss. Imagine him going, like, he knew what he was doing and he knew it's so controversial and he still did it. Like, he really wanted to kiss her. Oh my god. Did she even sue the company? I would sue him. I would sue the company. Oh my god. I would get my money. Like, nah, brother. Nah, you can't do that to the man. Okay, guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.